In the early 19th century, China simmered under the weight of corruption, poverty, and despair. The Qing dynasty, though proud and ancient, was faltering. Its officials were often more concerned with lining their pockets than tending to the suffering of the people. Natural disasters and famines swept across provinces, leaving millions hungry, desperate, and vulnerable. In this turbulent landscape, a man named Hong Xiuquan emerged, a figure destined to reshape history in ways both extraordinary and catastrophic. Hong was not an ordinary man, a failed scholar. He experienced repeated humiliation in the rigid imperial examination system, the gateway to social advancement, but it was a series of visions that transformed him completely. Hong claimed that he had been visited by a divine being and was revealed to be the younger brother of Jesus Christ, tasked with purging the world of demons and establishing a heavenly kingdom of great peace. He turned his personal disappointment into a revolutionary vision. This vision resonated with the oppressed disillusioned peasants, workers, and miners crushed by high taxes, starvation, and the Qing government's indifference flocked to Hong's banner. By 1850, in Guangxi province, Hong Xiuquan declared the birth of the Taiping Heavenly Kingdom. His followers were zealous, motivated by both spiritual fervor and the promise of social reform, land redistribution, gender equality, and the abolition of slavery and opium trade. It was a radical dream in a conservative empire. What began as a small rebellion soon grew into a massive civil war. Hong's army, fueled by religious devotion and the desperation of the oppressed, swept across southern China. Cities fell to the Taipings with a remarkable speed. They captured Nanjing in 1853, declaring it their capital and renaming it Tia, or Heavenly Capital. Nanjing became the heart of the Taiping movement, a city brimming with revolutionary zeal and strict moral codes dictated by Han. Smoking, gambling, and foot-binding were banned. Men and women lived separately, and women were encouraged to participate in the militia, radical departure from traditional norms. Yet, the rebellion was not merely a moral crusade. It was a bloody, unrelenting war. Qing forces, threatened by the scale of the uprising, fought back with brutal determination. Foreign powers watched cautiously. Some, like the British and French, initially provided indirect support to the Qing to protect trade interests. Wary of a messianic movement that could disrupt China, a Suffragile Internationale. Battles raged 4 years, leaving landscapes scarred and cities destroyed. Ordinary people bore the brunt of the violence. Millions perished, not just in combat, but from famine and disease exacerbated by the chaos of war. The Taiping Rebellion was not just a political or religious conflict, it was a social experiment writ large. Hong Xiuquan sought to dismantle centuries of hierarchical tradition. The movement had its own economy, laws, and military structure, challenging the Qing's legitimacy and inspiring hope for a new world order. Yet, internal conflicts, factionalism, and Hong's increasingly erratic behavior began to erode the unity that had brought the movement so far. Leadership struggles weakened the army, and by the early 1860s, the Qing forces, aided by Western-trained troops and regional militias, began to regain territory. The fall of Nanjing in 1864 marked the tragic end of the Taiping Heavenly Kingdom. Hong Xiuquan had died earlier that year, reportedly of illness and despair, leaving a void that no one could fill. The rebellion, which had promised heaven on earth, ended in one of the bloodiest chapters in human history. Estimates suggest that 20 to 30 million people died, making it not only China's deadliest civil war, but one of the deadliest conflicts in recorded history. Families were annihilated, cities lay in ruins, and the social and economic fabric of southern China was devastated for decades. Yet, the legacy of the Taiping Rebellion lingered. It exposed the vulnerabilities of the Qing dynasty and foreshadowed the wave of revolutionary movements that would eventually topple imperial rule in China. Hong Xiuquan's vision, though catastrophic in its execution, remains a haunting testament to the power of belief and desperation in the ashes of destruction. The Taiping Rebellion stands as both a cautionary tale and a reminder of the human cost of radical upheaval.